Hello everybody. This is the first video I am making about Shellknob history. Before we get started into what this image is, where I got and everything like that, there's just a couple things that I want to make evident and apparent to everyone. Number one, I am not a proper historian. I've never gone to college for history or anything. I've never been to college, period. Um, this is simply a passion I have. I don't have any formal education in doing this, and most importantly, I am going to get things horribly wrong from time to time. I am not perfect, and by no means should you watch this and think I'm 100% right. Now, I'm going to try. I'm not going to purposely spread anything false unless it's like April Fool's or something. But I want to make that apparent. And do not be shy to do your own research on this and to have a differing opinion. In fact, if you do have a differing opinion than me, that's good, because that means that you actually did do some research on the subject. I am no authority on any of this, but with that all out of the way, what is this image? This image right here is, I believe, from the Field Photo Archive, and I think it was taken by Jack England. I think. Don't quote me on any of that. That's all speculative. So, let's zoom in here. So, right here we can see a very old homestead. I believe I remember seeing somewhere that at the mouth of YY, which I believe is this road right here, that at the mouth of this road, which I think it curves and then goes here, that there's a homestead, and that's where all the laundry for the men was done. Or not all of the laundry, because the laundry, I believe, was actually taken to Hot Springs, Arkansas. However, the family here would pay, or you could pay them to do that. So, this is really the only aerial shot, or aerial, this was taken, I believe, on top of the Shellknob Fire Tower of the camp. And there's a few things I want to point out here. Number one, these long buildings are the barracks. Number two, this right here, I believe at least, is the water tower. Now, if we move here to this map, you can see here object 33 or 32. Yeah, water tower and pump house, 32 and 33. So I believe 32 here, right next to the croquet course. I believe that's what this is, for a couple of reasons. Then you can see this being what has widely been called the first telephone line in Shellknob. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know what? I'd be willing to buy it. Also, I believe this one is actually still standing, which is interesting. But if we look around here, we can see barrack house number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, I believe. Again, don't quote me on that. But based off the map, if I was going to number them, I'd number them 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. So I believe this is what we're looking at here, which means there should be 2 barracks here. I believe the long building to the side, this one right here, is this one right here. Number 1. Number 1 being the Forestry Army office. Apart from that, we don't really have too good of a view of any of the buildings back in here, or any along this side, though there should be 2 more here. But as you can see, the foliage is pretty great, so I cannot confirm if they're there at this point in the photo or not, or what's going on. But you can see the road right here, which is the same road that's there now. But you can see that the road, went like this, I believe, and then, connects with this part of the road, but I believe that there's also a road back here. Um, I've also gotten told, not confirmed, but told, that in this field right here, for a small fine, the men could actually park their personal vehicles. I don't know if that's true or not. I've been told by a woman that works for ccclegacy.org that they were not allowed to have their own personal vehicles at CCC camps, and that women were also not allowed on CCC property. Over here, this does not really have anything to do with the CCC, so I'm not going to touch on it too greatly, but, you know, just to kind of look at the photo, we have the beautiful White River here, and I believe, if I had to guess, maybe hay. I don't know. If you are a farmer or know more about that, you know, feel free. You know, you can also see some road over here. I think that's the old highway. I think you see kind of like a road through there. Maybe like a trail here, but I'm not too certain about that. I think that's also a trail right here. Again, not too certain about that. But this gives you a good idea of what the buildings at the camp looked like from kind of an aerial point of view. So, on to this, which is a great resource, the Jack England scrapbook. You can actually find this scrapbook on Berry County Museum website under Documents, under CCC. I will, if I remember to, I will put a link to this in the description. So, here you can see some absolutely great details. I'm going to do this just to make it a little bit easier for people to see. So here is a Civilian Conservation Corps unit certificate card. So this obviously shows that Jack England of Company 3753 has satisfactorily completed 16 hours in woodworking and is therefore granted this certificate. You have the company commander's signature and everything. Most of that, if you know, you should be able to see that. Here are two photos, though. I don't think this is at the camp. I am not sure about this one, though. This one very well could be at the camp, and I could be misidentifying it, but I just don't know where this would be at the camp. If you have any sort of knowledge or ideas, please tell me of where you think that was. This, I'm pretty sure, is at the camp. Pretty sure it's the side of a barracks. Here's a first aid card. So, let's go down the list here. Jack Fairburn and Jack Gordon. As you can see, sitting on a car by this. Now, what is this? I cannot be 100% sure, as the building is gone, but I believe this photo was taken here. So the car would have been parked here, and the cameraman would be about here. This smaller section of this building, I believe, is this, which I'm pretty sure was the welding area, where they taught metalworking and welding. And then if you look, you can see kind of a building behind this guy's elbow. I believe that's what this building is. The angles match up pretty well, in my opinion. So, that's what I believe. Next up, we have this one. Lieutenant Jones and Johnson. Now, this one is another one I am not 100% certain on, but I believe, let me actually exit out of this photo. I believe that this was taken here, or not here. God, where did I think this was taken? I don't remember. So, sorry. we have here. Now, this is a great photo for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is taken on top of the water tower. You can see barracks 1, 2, 3, and 4, the same ones from the aerial shot earlier, as well as this building here, which, if we refer to the map, I believe is object 34 on the map, which is, or is that 30? Yeah, 34, 34, 34. Lighthouse. I'm not exactly sure what that was. If you have any good idea, let me know. But we can see, where is it? I guess it would be just over here, I believe, is actually where the bugler would have played in the morning. It was this piece of cut metal cut into a cylinder, or not really a cylinder, but like a horn shape that they would put the bugle in to amplify the noise. Simple amplifier. We have this man here with his dog. We have Barracks 4. We have, yeah, Richard Laswell. Now, this is another good photo because you can actually see and make out the water tower way better. So this is the lighthouse, this is the pump house, which means this photo was taken from back in here somewhere. Interesting. Here, this is actually where it gets kind of interesting. This right here was the PT board. So if there were jobs or anything coming up, you could actually look right here at this board. Back here, you can see this mass of rocks and stuff and a bench and like a little pot here. That is actually what was the, well, it's actually still there. That's the, oh gosh, clover leaf looking fountain thing. There's some better photos of it. Here, again, you can see the water tower here, and yeah, not too much to mention. Here's, you know, first aid card, and here's a motor vehicle operator's permit. I like that. I've actually seen one of these, not this one, but one of these for sale in a flea market before, which is kind of interesting. Here we can see them doing some sort of a job. I've not been able to identify where this was. If you have any good ideas, let me know. Here's something interesting. Here's a photo of Jack Gordon. Now, what he's sitting on is actually, was at the entrance of the camp. So you would drive up and you'd see this, and there was 2 of them. At the Barry County Museum, they have one of these signs. Not this one, but they used this photo to illustrate it, even though there's a better photo of the one that they're actually using. Because if you notice here, there's no point in the center. So it's just a shield, not a shield with like a little spike at the top. Later on, I believe it's in this photo album, you can actually see a better image of the other one. However, both these would have been on either side of YY. So you would have come up and you would have seen this. Now, here, this rock is still here. This rock is still here. This is the corner of the fountain. And as you can see, 2 women. Which, as I said earlier, with talking with a woman from the ccclegacy.org, was prohibited on CCC premises. Which just kind of shows you exactly how strict they were on the rules of the camp. You can see back here, this is the flagpole, I believe, and a couple buildings. Yeah. If we go to the map, you can see exactly where I'm talking about here. So you're actually seeing the back half of these 2 buildings, and they would have been sitting right here. I don't know where this photo was taken, nor this photo. Here we can see really one of the only good photos we have of this structure here. Now, what's that structure? That structure there is number 10 here. Now, if we go and look, forestry garage. So I believe this would have been taken around here. and you can actually see the doors to the forestry garage. There's not too many good photos of the forestry garage, but I believe that's what this is. I'm pretty sure. Here, I don't really know where in the camp this was taken, but you can see that it's slightly more elevated than other camp premises, so I'm not really certain. Then of course here, I believe this was also taken at the forestry garage. I think. See, there's no good exterior shot with the doors open, so I can't really tell, but I'm pretty sure this was also taken at the forestry garage. Here we can see the clover back in here. This is the bench that the two women were sitting at earlier. And this is the photo I was talking about. And this is the sign, if I remember correctly, that they actually have at the Berry County Museum, but with the wrong photo. I don't know if they know this or not. They may not. And that's fine, but this should be the correct photo. So this is what that sign actually would have looked like. Here we can see these two gentlemen on a cliff, and this is the sundial. So if we go and we look, here's the sundial, number 25. See? 25 sundial. So I believe you would be looking at it like this. And if we go back, you can see this building, match it up to the map. It's this building, number 4, which is interesting. Here is a great photo of number 13 here, which is the supply, tool house and blacksmith shop, which I believe is also the supply office, I think. So I believe this would be the supply portion. You can see a small little thing there. Great photo overall. Here's another photo of the first sign. See how it doesn't have the little notch in the center? That's how you know it's the first sign and not the second one. See here, this was taken from the water tower. And you can see the American flag here, along with this long building here. And then this is right here, I believe. So I believe what you're looking at is, let's see, from the water tower, which would be here, you'd be looking at it like this, I believe. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm really not sure about this image overall because this building looks really long, but I feel like it could also possibly just be an optical illusion. I don't know. Then here's Sherman Cleaver's truck. Clavinger truck? I don't know. Now, this is why I think, it's these combination of photos is why I think this is barracks number 1. It's because if you look, barracks 1, barracks 2, barracks 3. If we look here at barracks 3, this matches up pretty well with this building. Right? So I think this is barracks 3. Which means if this is barracks 4, right? I think that one lines up pretty well with this one. Like them lining up here and taking it this direction. Then we have barracks number 5. So barracks number 5 being here. And I think that, you know, lines up with them taking it here, facing this way. I think that lines up pretty well. Barracks number 6, I cannot find any photos of. And then barracks number 7, being this building, which, you know, from the little you can see, it doesn't look like there's any good buildings either side of it. So, who knows? This is the image we looked at the beginning. This is kind of an interesting one. This is the flagpole you saw earlier. This is barracks number 8. And you can actually just barely make out number 8 on the top here. So barracks number 8 there, which would be here, which would be the last barracks. I think that's the barracks. I think that's the list. I think. Don't quote me on that. This building is actually still in Old Shellknob. You can go there, you can look. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful flagstone building. I think this house is also still up. I don't know if this one is still around. I cannot recall seeing it, but I've also not specifically been researching this store too much. Anyway, the rest of this doesn't have too many good photos. Here's a great photo of the cloverleaf with the bench. But a lot of these, you know, not too great, apart from a couple down here that I don't think were taken by Jack England. Sorry it's taking so long. Yes, these. So this is a great picture of the entrance of the camp. This building, I have no idea what that was. Because it looks pretty tall, and I don't ever remember seeing a building like this. But this is obviously the same stone structure. That's always been a mystery to me. You know, here we can see Jonathan Clark. Jonathan Clark and Red Piper. Yep. Some of these are some great photos. It's a great interior shot. You can just make out the cloverleaf here. And pretty much, that's it. Yeah. Some great photos here. The next thing I want to point out is down here quite a ways. So these are some reunion photos. And this is probably going to be the last thing I talk about. Here's the Walmart Tower. And I really, really, really want to find this. So if you're watching this, and you know who has this, please, please, please tell me. I have a VCR. Where is it? It's one of these group photos. There's one of these group photos that, I mean, I'm really looking for. Let's see. Is it this one? In one of these photos, I cannot seem to find it. So I apologize. But on one of the reunion photos, there is a man holding a camcorder. And that camcorder video is something that I've always wanted to see. It seems like it probably is still around somewhere. Someone probably has it. So if you have camcorder video from one of the reunions of CCC Camp 3753, please send it my way. I am very, very interested in looking at it, and I believe that, you know, it probably has great historical significance for the Shellknob area. That is about all for this video. If you all enjoyed this video, just say so. If you didn't, please tell me how I can improve. I'm not perfect. This will probably just be one very long, unedited video, so I apologize if it's a little bit boring, but, you know, not much can be done now. So, thank you all so much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye.